you to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so every time we are on, you will be notified.
All right.
And give us a thumbs up. Jump in the comments. Exchange some communication with us so we can reach back out to you and have some fun talking to you.
Yep.
So, again, George and Tracy, we're just talking. I don't know.
She need a firm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So since our last conversation we had, it's been about 2 weeks ago.
It may be longer.
2
You
weeks
should
ago.
Ask them, because I've been telling him, y'all, come on, let's
And she gets sleepy and she fall asleep
I do.
and she don't do it. So, you know, we had a awesome trip over to Birmingham on Friday.
We did.
Yeah, that was good.
Shouts out to the eldest, my big sis, the honorable Judge Carol Smitherman.
She's a historic icon living. Seriously though, you know that simply because sometimes, and I think Roger said it best, is that you can be so close to somebody that you can't see their accomplishments. So you can have familiarity with a person so much that you can't see what they've done. And then when you out of the presence of the people that's so close upon you, the people that's away from you and got a little space between you can applaud you for what you've done. Right. So it was good for me. Some of the things I didn't know to hear. I mean, wow. So many things she's done. Yeah.
First Black Municipal Court.
Mm-hmm. Everything.
Just all of it.
It's so many things you really can't name. You know.
But the number one thing, she's a mother.
Absolutely.
When I say she a mother hen. She didn't miss anything with my nieces and nephews or her grandkids. So that's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. So okay. We had we have learned to start enjoying road tripping. Like just driving. Not that Birmingham necessitates a flight or anything. But
we have started learning these road trips because we've always knew this, but we actually like each other enough to want to have
get
conversations.
In the car. And let me tell y'all, get a minivan.
The
minivans now, you know, all that Escalade and all that, forget all that.
Get you a
minivan.
Get you a minivan. We've been rocking minivans for the last 3 road trips.
Yes. And we getting ready to take another one.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Okay.
But that's our thing.
Right. So, in realizing that, it's fun to be able to have those deep and meaningful communication. That deep and meaningful communication while you ride.
Right.
And we
get to talking.
We get to talking, and we really just share. It ain't no holds barred. It ain't no, there's things that's off limits that you can't say. There's things off limits that I can't say. We just be like, what?
Yeah.
You lying.
No. What?
You ain't nothing. You did that bull crap.
I ain't got to lie when the truth is.
You
know, you're like, what? I ain't got to lie when the truth is.
So with that being said, babe, how do you think healthy communication actually helps make a relationship stronger?
Dude, come on now. That is the relationship.
Yeah.
No, communication, that's everything.
Yeah.
That's
not talking. See, I think talking and communicating is a different thing. You see what I'm saying?
I said nothing about no talking. I just said communication. You see how you just missed that whole thing? Communication.
I know, but what I'm trying to point.
Well, it's okay to talk, but don't talk at me. Talk to me.
Yeah, but I think talking is an act of saying something, and when somebody is listening to a talker, they're only listening to respond. When you're communicating, you're actually communicating for actual understanding.
Okay, so let me calm down because I wasn't communicating with you. You are exactly right.
Right. No, that's just my interpretation.
No, babe.
You know
I'm with you when you're right, and when you're wrong too. Yeah. But you're right on this one, and it is communicate. That it's a conversation.
Yeah, because I've had a lot of talks, not a lot of communication in my life.
Okay. Then.
You know what I'm saying? Talks usually.
Ding ding ding. We got that invisible bell. Ding ding ding. You hit that one.
Talking kind of lead to some arguments and stuff. But when you communicating properly, you know, and not just talking.
Right.
You get some understanding. Because we be going in.
Oh yeah.
Well, when we riding, we be talking, boy, having healthy communications.
And I like to hear your side. Usually we're here, but when we had that little slight, or you may say, but, or this is the other side. Then we may, sometimes we be off with that, but pretty much, you know.
Right, but the beauty about it is, and so I think a lot of healthy communication is really based on the foundation. Because if I don't like you enough to want to hear you.
Right.
Or we got so much conflict going on that I can't hear you now.
Yeah.
We can only talk. We can't communicate.
Right.
Because you don't have a softened ground, or you don't have a tilled ground where the seeds that you sowing in communication can catch root and actually be heard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that's the biggest key. I think we real high level when we talk about healthy communication, but if you don't really have healthy respect for somebody, you can't really communicate with them. If you don't know because respect is here, and I'm just brain dumping right now. Right. Respect in here is love is here, and people think that they're actually twins. They're conjoined, right? You can love somebody and not like them. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You can respect somebody and not know them. Yeah, right? So we mix, I love this person. That is not a clear indicator that you respect them.
That's right.
That's right. So, you know, I think in order to have really healthy communication, you have to have respect. Right. Even over love.
Absolutely. I was going to let you finish, but that's what I was going to say. Because if you don't, respect will afford you to listen at that person because you value what they say. You know, I value what you say. You know, I want to hear your side of it. I want to hear your opinion. You know, that keeps me balanced. But I couldn't hear any of that if I didn't respect you. Right.
Or you got all this built up resentment and unresolved issues that we got, that it's another one we just filed away and went on living life. And now you get all these filed away, unabated instances that ain't been resolved. They just put away. Now so you got this little thing always in you about the unresolved stuff that's already happened.
And that's what I told you I did in my first marriage. It was a lot of sweeping up under the rug. And that's why I don't, you know how I feel about that. Let's talk about it. Let's get to it.
Same here. So I what I learned in my life, friendships and everything, that I'm embracing the hard conversation. I need that. Right? Where at some point, I think as a man, sometimes we don't want to deal with the emotional response from a woman if we say X, Y, and Z, because we know that's going to necessitate this demonstrative behavior, right, that we just don't really got time for, right? But now,
and that's us to give that response because we're women, right? You know, I mean, I'm just saying,
right. But now I was thinking, I was saying, if you jump off the counter onto the couch, just go ahead and free yourself, baby, jump. Because I'm going to say it. I ain't going to hold it back. And I'll be like, you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Right.
You know?
But no, but you know, what I've learned, babe, and I've learned this over the last, I'll say 10 years for sure, without a doubt. But I think I was moving in that direction, delivery. When you're communicating. And I don't think that I wasn't aware of how you can be matter of fact, you know, but you gotta have, especially when it's that hard advice or that you're trying to give to someone, it comes off real harsh.
Right.
And, whatever come up, come out. I always laugh at my Tamika and Paul. I was like, man, y'all just let me live. Well, we just accept it because that's who you are. We just come up and out. I was like, man, y'all should have got better.
It's already constructive criticism, and you gotta deliver it. Yeah. Oh my God.
When you and I tell you that, you were like, I can't see you.
Oh no. I can see you doing it. I just ain't had the chance. You have not had the reason to exhibit that.
And I don't.
Oh, I know how it looks.
Listen now. I love this subtle, cool, laid back, and I think I've been cool, but just laid back woman that I'm growing into. It's like, well, you're older, you should have that. And I see some old folks still doing some 20-year-old and 30-year-old stuff. So I love the woman that I am, and I love that my delivery is better. Right. Even when it comes to the kids, or even talking to KT. I had to realize that. He had to tell me one time, like, lady, I'm an adult.
Right, who you talking to? You don't want to get that wrong.
He would never say that because
I'm just saying, no, not that. Yeah. But I'm just saying that's what you're thinking.
Yeah,
but
he was like, okay, you don't have, okay, Tracy, come, and we found that way to communicate. And I think now I scare him because I'm so laid back.
But you had to resolve something in yourself because it was something that forces that brute communication like that. And then it could be our environmental learning. Right, but sometimes it's usually something that's in there that kind of pushes that out.
Well, a lot of it, the last 10 years of his life was I was trying to be mom and dad.
Oh yeah,
and a woman, and I got to be stern, and I couldn't. I just always had my shoulders up because I'm trying to think of what kind of advice I can give him. And I've learned, even just with being with you, not that I didn't know this before, I can't never teach him how to be a man. I can just teach him what a woman wants in a man, sending the best man out there, you know. And typically,
But the beauty of that is that you have not reconstructed a male with feminine behavior.
No, I haven't.
Right. See, that's what happens sometimes is that, women will... And I'm not saying this as an imperfection, but I think it comes from love, is that you alleviate and reassign some roles and identity roles that you want in a man, but you don't require from your son.
Right.
And my man got to take out the garbage, go to work every day, provide this, that, the other. Then you turn around and raise somebody without those same tenets. Right. But you didn't do that. So that's the rough side of what. That's the rough side of what you were trying to exhibit. The man side is kind of like, and it's unfortunate that that has to happen that way. But you find that that's what it is. My mom was very rough with me, so you don't have no. One of them weak back men. I love that I could throw on a suit, but I could dig a hole too.
She's still rough with you.
Yes. I remember growing up one time I hadn't painted ever in my life. I hadn't painted a wall. It was the summertime. She knocked on my bedroom door. She says, "A can of paint outside the bathroom. You better have it done by the time I get home."
She's too
look. But it was probably a $5 can of paint, so that shit was half water. It took me 8 hours to paint a prison cell. The bathroom window bigger than the phone booth. I was in that bug all day. Oh my God!
I can see her.
I can see her. But guess what I could do today?
What? Paint your butt off.
I could paint like.
Ooh, all in my lap. Yeah, you can, man.
So
even your even fingernails, you can paint.
I could do it all. Everything. Yeah. So time out.
I do want to say this.
Okay.
Ladies, our sons are not our men. They're not. And if you talk to him, other than him being a man, a young, you know, I know you got boys, they different, you know, they are different. But I just want to say that we are their first, like a daughter to her father. That's her first man that's in her life. We're the same thing.
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love. How you treat her, you know what I'm saying? Right, you know, I seen my mom do this. You know, they watch us. And typically, you hear it all the time. A man wants, they go out and pick the attributes of their mom, you know, overall. I'm not going to say everyone.
Because of tendencies.
You know what I'm saying? Because of
my mom don't, she like, I don't cook, right? So I've never expected cooking from a woman. But my dad cooked. So
thank you, Queen B.
That's why I learned.
Queen B helped me out with that.
I learned to cook, right? So the expectation for you to have breakfast and lunch and dinner, that had never even been an expectation of mine. Not in a bad way, and I'm actually
and you
glad.
said that.
Right, yeah.
You said that when we started dating. I was just like, let me tell you.
Yeah.
You won't go hungry, but I'm not a big cook.
Right.
And you were like, oh yeah, I got, you know.
Then I ain't no big eater. I ain't just gotta have no food. I ain't just need to eat all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing too, because if I was hungry a lot, that'd be a problem.
Like you didn't eat all that food.
No, I didn't. Nope. No. But yeah. So.
Yeah, just just be communication is everything. That is the whole heart and nucleus of.
So here's another question to that. Since we dated long distance for a year, how did our communication and trust help us sustain our relationship when I wasn't there 2 and 3 weeks at a time? I come, on a weekend. You'll come here on a weekend. We alternate weekends. And how did we maintain that?
I think it was the foundation. You know, the first time we talked to each other for about 6 hours, right?
Right.
And soon into it, we started FaceTiming. You know, we would FaceTime.
Right.
And so that was our form of communication. And I think we said it throughout that dating period that FaceTime was it was really good. Technology in that instant is really good because we were able to see her. Heck, you asked me to marry you over FaceTime. You proposed. I mean, we did it. You came back and did it all up. But initial conversation and the first time you asked, you was just like, will you marry me? And it was over FaceTime. So I think that part of it.
That sounds like some pen pal, but not. We had mail order brides. Like we hadn't seen each other in months. We had just seen you the 2 days before I asked you.
Right.
But we was talking. We was talking about. We was just having a random conversation, and I said something about us getting married or something.
No, you said I was supposed to ask you to get married. I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah. You're right.
Before you asked. You just asked me to marry you. Then you asked me, and then I was like, you play too much.
Right.
Yeah, you was like, no, see, that's what I'm asking. You were serious. And then we got serious.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. And then I said, well, the first thing you have to ask KT. Since my dad's not here, you have to ask KT. And you were like, okay, got that. Da-da-da-da.
Right.
And then I said, now ask me. You asked me again.
Right.
And I felt something. And we just laughed, or we just sat there on the phone and just smiled. It was like 3 or 4 minutes. But it was a long time. We just kept saying, just smiling, at each other and stuff.
The moment we was frozen in time.
Yeah, but it was so crazy because I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I want to do this.
You want to do it?
Yeah, I want to do this for him. Okay. And so it was cool. But yeah, that so we had that. But yeah, I think, and another thing, we made it under each other. Also, you paid attention to my schedule. I paid attention to yours. You know, it wasn't so much as we felt like we were doing a sacrifice. but we both compromised. You know what I'm saying? It was something that you had to do, and you needed to stay here, or vice versa. And I don't think we didn't go 3 weeks without seeing each other.
No, and 2 weeks at most.
And really, you never went out of town with me after that. You went on one guy's trip. Yeah, went to play golf. You don't even remember, do you?
I don't. Oh, yeah, I do. That was early on.
Yeah, that was very early on. But even with that, you know, you were communicating. I was like, okay, well, he might like me, honey, because if he got somebody with him.
Right.
Yeah. She ain't getting that much done. Because he is on the phone with me. All on the golf course. I like that.
Yeah. So the long distance thing, it didn't bother me at all.
It worked for me.
Because this was the first time that I took off all expectations, took my hands off of it, and just enjoyed the relationships. Mm-hmm. The relationship versus the expectation of the relationship.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of things go off the trail, because you have this expectation other than letting a relationship
just go take its
be
course.
Natural and organic. Right. Mm-hmm. You have to kind of delete the stuff that you believed in or saw. You know what I'm saying? Just like if somebody was raised where every day they came home, mama had the meal on the table and daddy ate the big piece of chicken and all that. So you get to break all these identity crises to actually be able to.
That was mom and daddy, that's not us.
Yeah, to let your relationship take on its own natural construct without having any expectations. Right. I wasn't never worried about, I wanted Tracy going out with somebody tonight. I ain't there. Mm-hmm. Right?
I never, none of that ever crossed my mind.
It just, and it feels good to let go of anything that you once harbored or felt during a relationship.
Right. Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How important do you think past relationships affect your communication or your relationship coming into a new one?
Oh, they affect them, 90% of it. But what you have to do is really realize a lot of people have been doing things so long that they don't even identify it as toxic no more.
Right. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And toxicity gets lost, this is about to be a deep one, in the shuffle of what you appear to be. If you got big houses, big cars, big jobs, big this, that, and the other, people really think you have a big good relationship.
Right. What you say, a big good relationship?
Yeah, a big good relationship.
It'd be tore up on the floor.
It'd be dysfunctional because the temporary or the tangible things be so functional, and people are so impressed by shiny objects. Right. That they never think anything outside of, they gotta be good. They got this size house, they drive these cars, they work here, they do this, they make this amount. They ain't got nothing to do with a relationship.
They ain't got a doggone thing.
Nothing to do with a relationship, right? So,
yeah. So things that have happened in your past, and I think especially at our age, we've lived we say it all the time. I feel like I've lived a couple lifetimes,
a couple books.
Yeah. At least two.
Books.
Volume 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you can't bring anything from, well, this person used to do that, or all men are dogs, or he did it in this and you're going to do it again.
You really got to get therapy. You got to get therapy. You got to identify all the stuff that you did wrong or you perceive was wrong, and your wrong behaviors, and vet out why was there a need to cheat versus communicate? Right? Why in all of your bigness and all of the education and all the communicative, all the vocabulary you had, why couldn't you communicate? Right? Why did you have to find some kind of middle ground or something to numb you versus dealing in your situation? Right? And I think that comes in when it's not a safe place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? when it's not a safe place.
And then that goes back to communicating and not talking.
Right.
Because of course, I think we touched on this. With y'all, but no, you and I had a discussion, and I think people find it just crazy that I'm so transparent about in my first marriage and why I'm not gonna let what happened in my past repeat itself in the future, because there was infidelity in my marriage. And we ain't talking about just him. We talking about Miss Lady over here.
Right.
And I just didn't want to repeat that. We weren't having a conversation anymore. It was, it had shut down, so I'm doing my thing in the and get my understanding where I need to get my understanding. I'm feeling like I'm not being heard, and I'm not excused. I'm not making no
it's
excuses.
Real. It ain't no excuses. It's real. It's happening. Plus, 90% of the people gonna watch this know exactly what the hell we're talking about.
And I think that women, majority, I'm not saying everyone, but when we cheat for different reasons, and it's usually emotional, it's attention. We need that attention. We're not feeling like we were being heard, or the switch up. Sometimes in your marriage, the woman takes the role on making more money than the husband, and then you done got cocky. Like, I'm bringing home the most money, and you're not the head of the household, ladies. You're just making more money than your husband. So there we go back to the respect thing.
Right.
And there still has to be respect there. Yeah. And you have to communicate what this look like.
Because that's the key thing for men to cheat. You can take a poll of 100 men. I guarantee you 98 or 99 will say, I can't stand being disrespected.
Right.
And that leads you into a place. So here's the dichotomy, or the real construct that's real hard to understand in there, is if you don't respect me, I can't communicate with you.
Exactly.
Right? So the conversation really is never had on the things that need to be fixed, because I don't feel like going into what I want to do is communicate and end up in a war.
Yeah. And then that's where we come in when I say that women, when we start to make more, or they're still, I ain't listening to you because now I'm making more money. Or she may feel that you're not doing anything, I've gone to do this, and you're not holding up your part as a man in the household. Right. So there's a disrespect factor there. But when it's all said and done, you have to communicate. And I thank God that, and I can't even remember who told me, but I know it was someone in the church, and I remember it was someone older. I can't remember, but they was like, you're just making the most money. You're not head of the household, and you're disrespecting your husband. And so I had to really, really take a look at myself and realize that, okay, you doing it now, but he carried you. You get what I'm saying? So listen, ladies, it's a give and take in a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Right. You weren't in that position because you wanted to be. That's where we were moving on in life. So when I came and that's the one thing that I didn't want to do in my relationship. I wanted to give you full, and I won't say control. I wanted you. I gave you all the leadership role. Yeah. So I have softened up. I ran into a lot of people when I went home. They say, you have a glow on you. I said, oh yeah, I got glow on me. But what a lot of it is that I can truly be a girl. I can really stay in my lane. Just like I was telling with KT, I had to step up. You get what I'm saying? And I felt like I had, and so now I can just relax. So I have that softer side. But
because you can take on a posture again as a leader in your own right against a natural leader and a person that sits in the seat of of male gender to lead, and at some point, because he's tired of wrestling with you, he'll slide back and say,
"Oh yeah,
you know,
go
ahead and do it."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean he's not a leader. It means he's tired of fighting for leadership.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
And especially in his household.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Or I'm a leader here, but when I come home, I feel less of a man. Or it's the same for a woman. You know, I have these accolades when I'm at home. I mean, at work, because I've done this, and this. And when I get home, my husband doesn't recognize that. You know, and so it can go both ways. But that was the beauty of this is the first time in my life that I just given all control. I didn't took my hands off of everything, you know, and just let you truly lead. But also with women, I have to make some men understand you got to be a leader.
Right.
For her to want to lead, come on now.
Right, and the responsibility of leadership is a privilege once you realize your woman's following. So where it would take me, if it took me one day to do something, because I have the responsibility of this person that is believing and needing me, not needing to argue with me or debate with me about something. I need to supersede her expectations now.
Exactly.
Right? So she will always understand that she has handed her leadership over to somebody that's capable of leading.
Boy, you said it.
Right? So
wait a minute. Hold on a little, get my praise break.
Right.
Oh, you said it.
Yeah. So you can superfly your man or deify your man.
Yeah.
Right. So and men have the ability to be emotionally pushed and pulled when they love.
Yeah.
Right. So it's almost sometimes women treat their husbands like they got their own personal lion that won't bite them.
Right. But I know my line of bite.
No, yeah. You know your line of bite. But still, at the same token, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's like I get to do all this crazy stuff, and I know you love me so much that you're going to use restraint to the best of your ability. And I think it's something cute in that for women to know, you know.
I don't do that.
You know, so you don't do that, but I'm just saying.
Well, this is the thing. I was taught because by my dad and you know, having brothers, that you don't push a man to a certain point. Right. You know, you don't. It's certain things you don't say. And trust me, I listen. You do it. Put your pinky on me. My brothers, both of my fathers, they were gonna be. And the boys in the neighborhood, and my church member.
You gonna have it's gonna look like Nation of Islam.
Oh, baby, Nation of Islam with George, with Malik Shabazz, and Billy Davis over here. Then I got BAQ. It's going down. You better not put your hands on me. You better not. You better not. You had better not. You had better not. So, but with that being said, I ain't gonna get into it deep, and we ain't gonna name no names. But the story I told you about with that mouth. Yeah. Oh yeah. I knew not to go home. So really quick, I'm gonna tell you a story. Dating somebody, had a little fly mouth, and. I'm so wrong. I done learned so much in this just one transaction with this person. Because my grandma had already told me, baby, if you don't like him, you don't take gifts and you don't. Then I was like, okay. But so I'm dating a guy, a little bit older than me, than I was, and I knew that he was I had learned that he had, seeing other people and all this kind of stuff, and I really didn't like him like that, but he was, a great guy, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I'm up there, still got over my first love down to Alabama State. I took this dude's car down to Alabama State.
Oh.
That is not good. I'm ashamed of myself even saying it. Took it down there and used his car to go down there. I did have to pick up something. But yeah, it was that.
She tried to clean it up. No, she didn't. You had to pick up something, right?
No, I didn't do that because, he had broke up. We were broke up, right? So anyway, y'all, I come home or whatever. And I got a little smart mouth. He done found out about it. This was so crazy. How you gonna get mad when you in the wrong trailer? You can't do that, Tracy, right? So he was picking me up to take me to my sister's house to babysit my nieces, and we got into a little argument. And I was wrong, but at the same time, I'm like, you're not gonna talk to me like that. And I started calling him out of his name and da-da-da-da-da. And he kept saying, Trey, okay, Trey. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be too many tomorrow. Da-da-da-da-da. I said it one too many times, and he kind of laid a little hand, and it wasn't no, it wasn't no praying.
Let me out. Let me out. Ike, turn this car. Stop this car, Ike. All I want to do is keep my name.
So, right, I thought about it. I said, oh, Lord. Because he had a cat. I ain't going to say it because they'll know, people don't know. He done hit me. So, this right over here, he done busted this up a little bit. I had a little ball. I had a but he made a ball.
You had your head doing like this.
I got him back though. We got on that freeway on 31 and got on Norwood. He could have killed us. But I got in the back seat. I popped in his ear. He was still hitting me from the front seat.
Boo. It's like I was made for this job. Driving and beating. I can do this.
So anyway, long story short, he ended up having to take my sister and my brother, my oldest brother, Mike, was actually there. My sister was like, don't ever call my sister again. And if you try to contact her, I'm going to tell our father. That's all she had to say. Right. Whatever and stuff. But the moral to that is, don't you call it. I learned a lot. I wouldn't take his toy car and put it on another boy porch after that. Yeah. You don't do that. That was disrespectful. Right. Also, words do hurt, and you can antagonize a man. Sure you know what I'm saying? Now you're taking his masculinity away from him. So what can I do? Now you don't know supposed to put your hand on a woman, and he hadn't did that before. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now come on now. He was too skilled at it. Right. And I hadn't heard some little rumbling. So listen.
But it's the same thing though. You probably caught a bad rep on something with y'all.
No. But the moral of the story is that you can push a man,
sure you can.
into a
situation.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it actually happened to KT, and I said, I love my experience because I told my child everything. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So that you don't have to go through certain things. I want to tell you this. But when you got a woman that's in your face, you leave her right where you are. Mm-hmm. Call her a cab. Don't put her in the car with you. You get what I'm saying? Because she'll make you put your hands on her.
All right.
Or you'll try to restrain her, and then that'll go a different way. Yeah. Leave her in the car.
Mm-hmm. That's good advice.
Oh, no, I'm so serious.
No, that's real serious. Because even a restraint can leave a bruise.
Heck yeah, leave her. If she all in your face and we're not doing any of that now. He wasn't going to date nobody to that caliber anyway. But he had a little incident. When he got here in Atlanta. And the
incident is good.
Yeah, he was just like, Mom, she like went off. She got an attitude and she just started just talking real crazy and stuff. I said, what do you do? He said, I pulled over in the West End and I told her I called her. I was like, did you make sure she got in the car? Mm-hmm. that's what you do. Because you can't do it that way. So you have to respect people and just know what our places are. Mm-hmm. You know, you're saying, so, a woman can't never beat no man. I hate to see young ladies run up to confront young men like that. Mm-hmm. Because you just have no strength.
Yeah, and I think that's the lion owning the male lion and knowing it won't hurt you.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I think that's that. Get that joy out of that. Like I see, sometimes I watch channels in Dubai and these guys own full-grown tigers and all that. Mm-hmm. They get a joy out of playing with this tiger in such a dangerous manner with hopes that this tiger won't bite their necks off. Right. I guess it's some thrill or some dominance, or it's a love factor to say I can play in the face of danger and come out all right.
Right. Yeah, but like I said, you learn from different things and you try to do better in past relationship. I would never think about calling somebody, I mean, I was young, I couldn't have been no more. I would have probably 21, 22 years old, just mouth, just a lot of mouth. And so I would never do that now, or just be disrespectful, just not have respect or not honor someone in the way I would want you to honor me.
Right.
So, yeah. But
that has been a key component to my success as a husband in this relationship, is that you're very respectful. Oh, it has been. I carry no unresolved issues from a conversation before, because even if we're talking about something that could be, I have my opinion, you have your opinion, it's never loud, it's never disrespectful. It's always with care and concern. I want to truly understand what it is that you need. You want to truly understand what it is that I need, not concerned to not impress, but impact the other person with our care and concern is so high, it don't never even think about. We was at the thing the other day. I had put my hoodie on, was gonna put my suit jacket over it because it was a little cooler, right? So you was like, babe, you ought to go in there with your thing on. It looks, and I was like,
he's like, no,
I don't feel like doing it. I don't keep this on. You said, but I want to see you in the other thing. I want to see you in it. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, you got out of them clothes. You got out like Bruce Lee with some nunchucks.
But you could have taken that. You wouldn't have, but you could have taken that in the direction that completely made me say, I'm going to show you better than I'm going to tell you.
Yeah,
because you done got your tone wrong, you done got your posture wrong, and I'm not going to ever let you think your tone and your posture going to move me to do something on your behalf. Right? But you use what they say, you get more bees with honey than you do vinegar. Right? You say, baby, the truth of the matter is, I want to see you with that. I did. I was
that's all.
I was like, let me take that. Take that.
Boy, you did a Superman.
But I didn't have any other option other than to say, how can I not do what she's asked me, follow her request? And she had the audacity to be that loving and kind with me. Well, you can't ask for no more. That's all I needed in a relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
Listen. Dude.
So when you get something and I'll be like, no, I'm keeping this on now, you're aborting what you prayed for.
And that's what we all